Hello and welcome to IMR Technology. This is me, Ian Micheal, your friendly emulation Dreamcast developer for the last 20 plus years. Now, Spin Masters was the hardest thing I've ever had to implement because the base eliminator never ever had scanline or raster effects because, well, for example, you have to write to the screen 2 to 8 times. So if you're only getting 60 frames a second on a normal game, if you're writing to it again and again and again, of course it's going to be too slow to even play. So that is why most eliminators, even on the PS2 and even on the PSP, most of the raster effects are limited or do not exist because it's almost impossible. But I put my head down and my bum up and I optimized every single part of it so that we'd have the room to try and implement it. Okay, so what are raster effects? What is chasing the beam? What is a scanline?
And they don't care what a scanline is. They just want to play the game.
But Wombat, I have to tell them all the work I did and how it works.
But Ian, they just want to sell it on Telegram and eBay, and that's what they do.
But Wombat, wouldn't you think they'd support me on Patreon? Or buy me a coffee? Or something like that? For 3 months of work?
Well, some of the people do, Ian. You know that. But there's a lot of people out there that just like to take, and not give any credit.
Yes, I know that, Wombat. It's a take society. Okay, let's get down to the fundamentals. Okay. What are raster effects? Well, okay, on an old TV, drawn pictures, line by line, top to bottom. Raster effects let games change graphic settings mid-screen or mid-write, like making a top scroll slowly and the bottom scroll fast. Example, in Spin Master's water level, the sky scrolls slowly, top of screen, mountain scroll medium, middle of screen, and water scrolls fast, bottom of screen. All three move at different speeds in the same picture. That's a raster effect, my friend.
A raster effect, my friend? What did you say?
I said raster effect, my friend.
Are you sure you're all right? You sure you're all right, Ian?
I think so. Now, before my implementation, Dream NeoCD or Neo for All did not support, no raster support at all. All games drew on one static image. Effects like parallax scrolling didn't actually work. Water effects are broken and visual glitches happen. For example, Fighter's History Dynamite with the perspective. You'll see it just go brrr, brrr, brrr. Well, I fixed all that. Also, Z-Blade, where at the bottom of the screen, everything's scrolling so fast along, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. Yes. So, after my implementation, the Eliminator now draws line by line like real hardware, only when triggered for a game that needs raster effects. Games can interrupt and change settings mid-screen. All raster effects are working properly, and it runs between 50 frames a second and 59 frames a second, but with calibration. Now, I'm not talking about normal games with no raster effects, because they're all 60 frames a second. But raster effect games, as you just heard from the top there, drawing several times to the screen line by line, is extremely slow. So it's a miracle that I've got it to 50, 59 frames a second. I can tell you it's an absolute miracle, because when I started with Spin Master, it was running at between 15 and 20 frames a second. I almost gave up, but I persevered. Now, that's not even the biggest challenge of it. No. The biggest challenge is the timing has to be precision. You have to fire interrupts at the exact scan lines, like line 43, line 140, etc. Too early, too late, visual glitch, glitch, broken, glitch. Each game needs different timing and calibrations individually. So, please support me. Please, please support me on Patreon, so I can keep spending all my life doing this for you. Alright? I do want to get on to other things. Let's put this one in the back. Now, performance balance, you got too many interrupt checks equals super slow. For example, it was 37 frames per second, Spin Master with 8 slices. Too few slices or interrupts, and it equals glitches. You have no backgrounds, things disappear, you scroll this way, the sky scrolls the other way. So I was able to calibrate it based on the name of the game. It hits a profile for this particular game. Now, what does this all mean, Ian?
Yeah, what's it all mean, Ian? What's it all mean?
Hey, Koala, how you doing, mate?
Oh, not bad, but what's it mean?
Well, before, games that had raster effects were missing layers at the bottom. They were missing perspective. Another one that is completely missing perspective is Neo Turf Masters. If you watch my old version, Neo for All version, or any version, some versions on PC, when you do this, it's supposed to change perspectives, and the whole sky and scroll is supposed to scroll in the direction, but right now it's flat, so it just goes zzz, 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 but there's no perspective, so no 3D perspective. So after you have these effects, games look right with proper depth and effects. There's a few more. Galaxy Fight also has this. Another one is World Heroes 2 Jet and World Heroes. Again, when you're going along the bottom of the screen, it does a perspective, so it looks like you're actually in like a 3D. So my aim was to build a system that lets the emulator draw pictures line by line like real hardware. So games create cool visual effects mid-screen. Now, you can't do mid-writes on the PVR. When you finally get to see the source code, you're going to say, what the hell is this? Because I had to create a tile catch. I had to split them up into tiny little pieces, and I had to number them in an order like depth to front, and they're basically in advance, just a tiny bit, so it looks like it's just a little bit. Your eye can't see it, is what I'm saying, but you can't do mid-frame writes on the PVR, but I make it look like you can. I simulate it. So, tile strips, small little tiles, big catch, that. So games can look like real hardware, and these games, another one is actually King of Fighters 94. The bottom of the screen and some levels have raster effects, so there's one particular level where a baboon monkey walks along and the whole bottom of the screen is missing. Yes, even in my old version, because of course this didn't exist. So games can create cool visual effects mid-screen. This was built from scratch. No raster support existed before in this Eliminator source base. Now games with raster effects can run between 50 and 59 frames a second, with all effects working. You cannot use frame skip at all with raster effects. The timing would be out and the backgrounds would disappear and the scrolling would disappear. You just can't do it. You can't do it with this particular tile catch system and with the PVR. Alright, I think I've discussed that for you. And so let's go on to the actual game. Hey? Why not, eh? Alright, so you can read all this. Let's go. It checks the game, sets up the BMU, and updates the system and preloads the catch. This is the Poppy Woof Woof edition of DNCD 4.0 Raster Edition, or Poppy Edition, Poppy Woof Woof. We all know that we have to keep the dream alive. There are so many great devs out there, homebrew devs on Dreamcast. Please support them. You know, we do this for the love of it, and for our beloved machine. Keep on dreaming. No need to run. Answers are one by one. Keeping the dream alive. Over. Alright. Yes. You can skip. You can skip any of the screens with start at any time. You're not restricted. Now, this is experimental. I'm sorry for people that have SCART or RGB 320. You'll just have to select a 640 mode. I just can't get it working at the moment. VGA, of course, works perfect. NTSC works as well. As long... Oh, and also... as you see, IL, so you got PAL and all that, but yes. Sorry. Alright, we'll get into the menu. My tribute to Bleemcast always. Hey Mom, how you doing Mom? Hi Rand, hi Randy. So, as you can see here, makes it a retail-like product, polished-ish. Okay, let's get into the game. This also now detects the SPR on the disc and actually displays it on the screen and shows you the files loading. One more improvement. So you see in the background the most furthest layer turned like flash black there. That's because we're on the edge we're on the edge of being able to run all the scrolling at the same time. See that? See that? Now, to solve that glitch, we have to lose 15 frames a second. I think you'll agree that a tiny little flashing little bit in the background is fine for the lots more frames a second. But yes, the game is running very, very well. It's very playable. I think between 50 and 59 frames a second for a game that is, to me, as good as what you talking about, mate? You're not much of a public speaker. You just said Yes, I know. Yes, and I won't cut it out either. Alright, let's play. We'll play on easy. I've already got to the end of the game and beat it, just to make sure that you can complete it. You'll see how I've got all the colours working and all the layers working. This game is very intense. There is so many bosses and weapons. Check this out. I mean, holy guacamole. Of course, with all the raster effects putting so much demand on the Dreamcast and on the PVR and on my code, it will slow down in places, but it will speed right back up, so you don't have to worry about that. This is not frame skip. This is just, it gets enough fill rate and CPU thorough output to come back. But you'll be more than happy to play it. I know I am. Is it 100% perfect? No, it'll never be. No. Is it stable? Yes. I let it soak test for 4.5 hours earlier today. I think that's enough. Considering it's not like I'm charging you $39.95 or some crazy amount. Also, go and support IQ. The guy that made the conversion, a wonderful guy, very smart, intelligent, and was able to convert this to NeoGeo CD. So I would never have bothered to do raster effects unless he did this game. But what that gets you is a whole other bunch of games that the raster effects were broken, like Z-Blade and Galaxy Fight. There's actually a number of them. And actually there's a number of games where you didn't even know that it had completely missing graphics. Yeah, you got such massive power-ups in this game. Very Metal Sluggish, you know. With this too, you also get a game that was going to be this game on the Genesis. Now this particular level, this took forever to get the raster rights to work. And to be this smooth and fast, it took forever. Now, yes, I can see that the music doesn't happen on this level, but it also doesn't happen on the conversion. So he's still working on it. It's not completely. I don't think it's completely 100% done, but you completely finish it. And of course, the music will start again after this level. Whee! Oh my goodness, mate. So in the normal Dream Neo CD menu, if you press right trigger, you'll get my new Genesis update with the game Desperados, and that is made by Data East, and it has the same characters. They look the same as Spin Master. The game is related. It was going to be a Spin Masters game on the Genesis, which would have been great. But would of course not look like this. You see the zombies, the mummies. It reminds me of it does remind me of Metal Slug. So, I better turn up the... Oh no, we're fine. We're fine, we're fine. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, but this bit does remind me of Metal Slug a lot. And it's all the better for it. Especially the mummies and the zombies. Very much Metal Slug 2. Which, by the way, I'm working on. It'll be the best version. On Dreamcast, that is. You can only do so much with a turd. Because the engine is... yeah. Oh, wow! Look at the snakes! Snakes! Such great bosses and effects. Ah! And I mean, who doesn't want to bash everything with a yo-yo? Look at that.
You're doing really well, Ian.
Thank you, Koala. Now, this also happens on his video, this music. Now, I'm not quite sure why that is. It could be a protection type thing. But yeah. You see the slowdown there. My optimized coding comes through again there. We won't play the whole game for you, but I thought I'd show you a bit of it. Such great graphics. Catch their boots on fire. You see all the layers are working. You see they're all scrolling at different rates. Yes, that is the raster effects. If there was no raster effects that I implemented for this eliminator, you would not have the background. In fact, the game doesn't even work. I'm kind of very proud of my work here, and when it's all done, Yes, the source code will be released, and it is full of comments, and I'm talking about years and years of pages of technical data. I made a big presentation with slides and everything like that, and I thought, yeah, okay, I just did a roundabout on how I did it. If you want a super deep dive on raster effects and how they work on the NeoGeo, I could probably write a book these days. Now, without looking at the NeoGeo wiki and SDK, this would have taken years, or maybe never at all. Also, the great eliminator NeoRain and his comments. None of the source code is transferable. This is PVR hardware rendering, not anything like that. Same with the sound. The sound is ACAI. ACAI? What? It's just no layers, no SDL, no stuff like that. Alright, so there's the example. Saving completely works. And there we go. Spin Masters for you. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to keep subscribing to my channel. You can also join up on Patreon for free. Or as little as $2. Or anything you can do. Let's keep the show on the road. Let's keep this mine car going down this way. And let's keep my head working. Alright, mate. Alright, guys. This has been Ian Micheal. And, we're now back on the main menu. If you press right trigger, it will load the bonus game, the hidden game, the secret game, which is made by the same people who made Spin Master. And yeah, Data East, and see, raster effects as well, which I have working on this game. Oh my goodness. See how the characters look the same sort of characters. It was made about the same time, and they were thinking about making Spin Masters for the Mega Drive, but never turned out. Oh wow. Yes! It's a cool little game. Really good, 2 players. Ow, wow! You little bugger! Don't you get ahead of me! Oh no! You can see that I put a lot of work into optimizing this as well for this release. This is proper stereo Genesis sound. There you go. Last thing I'll show you. Alright. We'll be back. Okay, the last thing on the menu is the left trigger. We'll show you my new 3D rotating spear map. So here we go. It's just a bonus. There you go. Rotating crystal. We're going to start putting those in the menu. I coded this the other day. I think it looks pretty cool. There you go. I've also made my own model format. I want to, after I've done with NeoCD, I want to start putting together all my routines and coding to make the nice little 3D FPS RPG that I want to make. But there's an example of a nice crystal that you would collect. Yes, reflections and all. Alright, it's been Ian Micheal. I'll see you on the flip side. I wonder if anyone remembers. I got do, push my apple, shake my tree. I got do. It's a hula memory. To the left, to the right, jump up and down and touch your knees. I got do. It's a hula memory. Or what about, is anyone in Australia, you'll remember that. Cook a shackle, make a damper. Beepity, hack hamper. Yes. On a farm or out at sea, there's a recipe for me. Come and get it with Peter. G'day, Russell. Good day, Clark. G'day. Where's the cheese? Yes, some people will remember that, Peter Russell Clark. Alright. Or what about this for a memory? Gandhara, they say it was in India. Gandhara, the place of life. Gandhara. There you go. Alright. See you next time. Hope you enjoy Spin Master.